feeling very uncomfortable right
Please
now.
come in now, and 1 minute. And if you want to leave, when the guy comes with my
Why
jacket, you can
yesterday
go.
you touched my wrist?
Oh, please, I'm sorry. Just come on. I'm used to that. Come on.
Are you used to that?
Yes, come in. Because
No, but I'm not used to
I
that.
won't do it again. Come on. Sit here. Sit here for a minute, please.
No, I don't want
If
to.
you do this now, you will embarrass me. No. Like, they will call me again. Okay? I'm sorry. I promise you I won't do anything.
I know, but yesterday was too
The
much.
guy is
for
coming.
me.
I will never do another thing to you. 5 minutes. Don't ruin your friendship with me for 5 minutes.
It's a recording of Hollywood mega producer Harvey Weinstein that was secretly captured during a New York Police Department sting. That audio was obtained by Ronan Farrow, who's written a frankly harrowing account of the harassment and assault and rape allegations against Harvey Weinstein for the New Yorker magazine. This follows reporting last week, the end of last week, from the New York Times. Jodi Kantor and Megan Twohey breaking that story open, and now Ronan Farrow pushing it into Nuclear Farrow today. Ronan is a contributing correspondent with NBC News, and he joins us live in studio tonight. Ronan, it's nice to see you. Thanks for being here.
Good to be here. I'm glad you're covering this, Rachel.
Thank you for saying so. I have a lot I want to talk to you about this, but let me start with that tape. Can you tell us the circumstances under which that tape was recorded and why it was recorded?
There was a young woman, Ambra Badalena Gutierrez, an Italian-Filipina model, who, in a pattern that has shown up again and again in woman after woman's story, was spotted by Mr. Weinstein at an event. And subsequently, he reached out to set up a meeting. And when that meeting transpired at his office, she said he groped her, he grabbed her breasts. And that is a potential misdemeanor that could carry up to 3 months in jail. That's a serious act. After the incident, as you alluded to, she went straight to the police, to the nearest precinct. We talked to a lot of sources close to this investigation who found her extremely credible. She went in an act that everyone associated with this investigation said made her frightened, but she thought it could expose and stop something important. She recorded this with the police. There was a wire operation.
So she went in and reported that he had this allegation that she made that he had groped her, and in response they said, will you wear a wire, and go back and have further contact with him.
Already he was contacting her again and again, and that is another consistent pattern in these incidents. He is very aggressive in following up with these women, according to source after source. And in this case, he called her while she was with the police, and they used that as an opportunity to set up this sting.
Okay, so she goes back and she has contact with him, and in the excerpt, it's a longer tape. You've heard even more of it than what we just played.
That's right.
And more than what you published. But in that piece that we just played there, he is obviously being very persistent in terms of trying to get her to go into his room with him. She asks him about the previous incident, and he appears to admit to it.
He says, I'm used to that. Which, for you or I might be a peculiar response to that kind of an inquiry. She is point blank saying, why did you touch my breasts?
Yeah.
And, look, he had issued denials of this publicly. And this was a recording that, sources close to this investigation said he understood had been destroyed. But people involved in this investigation were angry about the fact that this was suppressed. And that recording did survive.
So in some of the other cases of high-profile men who've been accused of sexual harassment, sexual assault, and rape, one of the main things that comes up once the torrent of accusers start coming forward is statute of limitations. In this specific case, we're talking 1 day after the alleged assault from when this recording was made. The New York Police Department and the Manhattan DA's office both put out statements today essentially saying it wasn't our fault that this didn't get prosecuted. What's your assessment of why this didn't get prosecuted?
Look, all I can say is what the sources quoted in this story said, and we quote a source close to this investigation who said, this made me as angry as anything in my career, and I've been on the force for a long time. These were people telling us they had the evidence.
So, Ronan, in terms of your reporting on this, I don't want you to tell me anything that I don't want to ask you for sources you don't want to talk about.
A story like this, there's a lot in there that's very sensitive, but also it's expansive how many people put their names on this too. And there's a lot we can talk about. Thanks to the bravery of these women.
I had heard that there was a race between the New Yorker and the New York Times in terms of getting this story. That obviously this was a long chase for you. You were working at NBC News when you started working on this. You ended up publishing it with The New Yorker. If you can speak to that, I'd love to hear about that. Also, we know that Jodi Kantor and Megan Twohey were working for this along with their reporting team at The New York Times. one question I have about this is why now? Because these allegations go back more than 20 years, why are people willing to talk now? Why were women willing to talk to you about these allegations? They hadn't previously done so.
So, I'll speak to that last point first.
Okay.
Of these 16 executives and assistants who talked to me, over and over again, I heard from them, we feel a profound sense of guilt about what we saw and are silent about it for years.
People inside the company
People
who knew about it,
inside
who'd
the
heard
company.
about it, who'd witnessed it.
A female employee who said she was asked to serve as, she used the term, a honeypot in meetings, meaning she would be present to reassure some of these young women who were being brought in that this was professional, and then would be asked to leave the hotel room or other room. And look, I talked to multiple employees who said we saw fear in these women's eyes. And that is something that haunted a lot of these people. None of them quit as a result. I think that haunted them too. And, even still to this day, some of them spoke only anonymously. So this is a tough issue.
What happens, though, when you've been haunted by something for 10, 12, 15, 17, 20 years, and then all of a sudden the haunting becomes too much and you all decide to talk? I mean...
They also spoke to a changing culture that after the revelations about Ailes and Cosby and these powerful men, they felt that the grip on power of these individuals is slipping, and they felt that there was an atmosphere in which they could finally speak. Now, look, that's not all noble. They also said Harvey Weinstein specifically is less powerful now. We fear retaliation less because he is no longer, in the words of one source, the 4th most powerful person in Hollywood. He is now the 200th most powerful person.
That's fascinating.
So there was a pragmatic change here too, and you see it again and again with these other men too. These stories come out when they are less powerful.
Ronan, I have a couple more questions for you about this. I was not supposed to keep you for a second segment, but I'm overruling anybody. Do you mind staying?
I would be honored.
We'll be right back with Ronan Farrow because I have something important to ask him about this. We'll be right back.
Hey there, I'm Chris Hayes from MSNBC. Thanks for watching MSNBC on YouTube. If you want to keep up to date with the videos we're putting out, you can click subscribe just below me or click over on this list to see lots of other great videos.